I'm Jeff Cook. Welcome to Business Birdies, where we talk shop with business leaders off the clock while playing a little bit of golf.
Oh, God.
So it's getting a little heated here. Today we are here at Musket Ridge Golf Course in Myersville, Maryland. Located just outside of Frederick, Maryland, this unique 150-acre property offers stunning views of Maryland's topography in this area. Joe Lee, the designer of this course, said Musket Ridge was one of the best courses that he's ever worked on in his career. And speaking of Maryland, joining me today is a fellow Marylander, Byron Patrick of the B3 Method Institute. Byron, thanks so much for coming out today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Can't wait to get started. Why don't we go, get warmed up, play a little golf, have some fun today. On Business Birdies, we are playing the Cookout Challenge.
In this episode, the low score will win the Cookout Challenge. The winner of the Cookout Challenge will get a free massage, courtesy of Holistic Health Associates of Frederick, Maryland.
All right, man. You're the guest.
Oh,
Tee boxes.
oh boy.
Yep.
That's a lot of pressure.
Growing up in Maryland, crabs.
Oh, God, yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah, of course. All of us here. Would you say crab cakes? Are you thinking, steamed crabs with the Old Bay? Or
Yeah. I'll not turn away either.
Right.
Without a doubt. But, something about sitting down and, picking a crab.
Yeah.
I picked a lot of crabs. It's definitely my preferred pastime.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And it's funny how you get better with practice on them too.
Oh yeah. Well, in college I worked at a all you can eat crab place.
Okay.
At the beach. Yeah.
Oh, at the beach?
And yeah, so I taught a lot of people how to pick crabs the right way.
You became one of the younger people to ever chair the MACPA, right? And
Yep.
you got the 40 under 40 a couple times, and that's awesome. Congratulations on that.
Yep.
Why do you think that's so important for young people to understand what these organizations do? I feel like it's not always clear to younger professionals what's going on.
Well, it's funny because people will debate their membership, paying the dues year after year, and say, what am I getting from it? And I always tell people, you get what you put into it. And if you're just stroking a check and doing nothing, you're not going to get much value. But it's really important to realize that you can be a contributor to the profession. You can have a say in the rooms where decisions are being made, influence those things. You just have to get up and show up.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people think that, you have to be know somebody or be in the crowd, but the reality is the entire profession is looking for volunteers, people who care enough to show up.
Yeah.
And if you just show up, you can be part of those decisions that are being made that are impacting the generations behind.
Yeah. And I mean, the reward of that is tremendous, right? From a mental point. It just feels so good when you're helping the profession, you're helping other people out there and things like that. I mean, it's just a great experience.
Well, and I know you were involved in the early days of the framework of SOC being created.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the fringe as part of the IT section at the AICPA. So, to see how that has evolved and to know I was part of the grassroots that started all of that,
right?
is pretty rad.
It's pretty cool. So this is an interesting setup on this hole. Do you go for, you could go big, right, and really try to get close, or you play it safe? Because if you miss over there, there's all kinds of trouble.
You're dead. Yeah.
Or you play it safe and just get out there.
So what is it just beyond that bunker?
Which one? If you go to that landing area behind all that, it's 216. So, if you can carry your driver out there, sure. Or you go here, those bunkers on the right, they're like 165, 75 on those. Yeah. So, depends on how you want to do it. Yeah. So, speaking of which, your dad was in construction, right? Your mom was in the medical industry. You moved to the Frederick area, down Erie, where you're on a farm there.
Yeah.
So,
horse country.
Yeah, horse country, right? So, do you think a lot of the lessons you learned from your parents helps you want to live on a farm and do all the work that's involved? I mean, you've got construction work, you've got animals who are going to need medical help, right? And all that kind of stuff. Is that something that really helped you?
Yeah, I mean, my dad for sure. I've since moving on to the property, we've built, I've expanded the barn. I've done more fence mending than you could count. The amount of things I've built. 100% learning to swing a hammer and use a saw has come in handy. The medical expertise from my mom, she has taught me empathy and compassion. And, when you're out there with animals, like that's the stuff that you kind of have to pull out.
Absolutely. They always pick up on that, right? So it's super important. Great lesson from mom. Kudos to mom out there. As CPA, you still doing your own taxes?
Oh God, sore subject. So, I vowed that this year will be my last year to go taxes.
Do you use a piece of software?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
So one thing, think about how far tech has come since the beginning of your career. Even in the last year, right? It's tech has got a turbocharger put on it at that point.
No doubt.
And I think there's still a lot of firms out there, not just accounting, firms in general that are slow to adopt to new technology.
Sure.
Maybe they like the traditional ways of doing things. I understand that. You've been doing it for years, but I think everybody would agree, technology adoption is something you got to think about going forward. It's just the way it's going to be, especially with AI. What would you say for companies that are hesitant, they're in some sort of comfort zone that they're like, I know what I need to do, but I don't have time, or, whatever it is?
Well, I've talked to a lot of businesses recently. I have not talked to a single business that says we are overstaffed. Every business I talk to right now has a staffing issue, has a labor issue. So the best way to address that labor issue is via technology. I was talking to my landscaper the other day. He's struggling. He said, I'm just going to mow as many lawns as I can this summer by myself. And I was like, bro, there's new technologies coming out where you could have automated mowers going out there while you're doing the other side work that isn't automated, but that's your labor. You're not replacing humans because you don't even have the humans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that goes for dry cleaners, attorneys, accountants. I don't care what it is. You're having a staffing labor challenge.
Yeah.
And technology is, for the foreseeable future, your only path to sustaining the business or the business growth that you want to accomplish. So, I think look at small things, the things that are time consuming, talk to experts to figure out what exists out there that could maybe automate these things overnight while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody out there who's not impacted by that.
True. What about the people who say they're Excel gurus, though? And I can do Excel. Exactly. We're all Excel gurus, right? We were accountants, but
That's right.
even us Excel gurus, right? There's got to be some things that we can do better.
Oh my God, yeah. I had a project recently that I worked on. That the core of the project is Excel. But let me tell you, I took my expertise and now I consider myself to be advanced Excel. I put ChatGPT on top of my knowledge base. The stuff I built recently in Excel is lights out the best stuff I've ever built.
Nice. I mean, it feels like you're just combining these worlds, right? But that actually just brought a thought to mind. I've heard, and maybe you've got some experience with this, that people who are very good at Excel can learn Python very easily.
Sure.
Have you had experience with that?
I have. Yeah. I mean, if you were good at Excel, you understand programming, effectively building formulas, giving commands, producing parameters and variables. I mean, that is programming. So, and frankly, again, with ChatGPT, it is so easy to go in there and say, here's my variables, here's my parameters, build me a script in Python to do this.
Yeah.
It'll get pretty close. And then you go, oh, this isn't right. You give it the feedback.
Yeah.
You're programming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, me too, same thing. Like I have basically done things like short articles and things like that, where I take kind of like an initial stab with like a ChatGPT or an AI or something like that. But then I need to put my own touches on it, need to polish it up, etc. And I think that's where the integration is today. Like maybe in the future it's different. I don't know. But today that's where it is. Use it as kind of like a helping hand that then you take it from there. And I think that goes for the wider companies in general too, right? Like I feel like there's a lot of positions where the staff can use it to help them, but you're still going to need people to analyze things. You're still going to need people to do that kind of work.
Well, when contractors stopped swinging hammers and got nail guns,
the
nail gun didn't replace the decision of where to put those nails. It's the same thing.
Right. That's a construction lesson from your dad. What have you done? What kind of experiences can you share of like how you ended up building a great team that maybe had some challenges with the people in it, but you ended up getting that team to go forward and move forward and accomplish the goals they want to accomplish?
Yeah, I mean, definitely been a part of a number of teams that, I mean, no team's perfect. For me, I think the challenge people run into is they don't clearly define what looks like success to people. They just tell people, they give people instruction, they point them in a direction, and they say march, but they don't explain what the destination is. And, for me, the success I've had in managing and building teams has been about defining that destination and bringing everybody into creating the game plan to get there.
For each of their roles.
Yes. And then having the conversations of like, are we still on course? Are we not off course? And giving them the opportunity to recalibrate. There's times when they're not going to be able to reach the summit that we're all looking for. And but I found a lot of times people want to be successful. So, helping them to see where their strengths are, lean into those strengths.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of rhetoric, but it's real. Like
So, Byron, a lot of people, in general can say, I don't want to deal with social media. I don't like posting. I don't like LinkedIn. I've seen benefits from it. I believe you have as well. Like what types of benefits though can you talk about and, getting that person to kind of maybe come out of their shell a little bit and use it to their advantage?
Sure. I think there's different reasons to be there. There's a lot of learning opportunities. So even if you're just there to lurk and see the conversations, hear from, people that you trust.
Yeah.
I learned so much, that, it gives me access to expertise that isn't down the street.
Yeah.
Isn't on the golf course.
Yeah.
So one, just learning. Two, extending my reach. The amount of people that my first interaction with was, on Twitter or on LinkedIn that has then, crossed that bridge into relationships in real life is more than two hands of people. And, so it creates those opportunities to really, meet people that you may not otherwise get that opportunity to meet.
All right, Byron, I need to know, what's the deal with slicing watermelon into sticks?
Oh, man.
I gotta know.
It's a game changer. Why? First of all, it makes it so much easier to cut up the watermelon.
Okay.
Just slice it into sticks. It fits perfectly into the bowl.
Okay.
And then it's so easy. Just take out a little long cube and just eat it. They're like game changer.
And where did you learn?
Oh, that was definitely like some Instagram something or other that came out, without a doubt.
So the benefits of Instagram, learning how to eat food are done. You don't want to be hangry on the golf course.
Survey says.
But, one of the real benefits I heard from you, a CPA, is being able to vouch for Australian citizens.
This is true. This is true. One of my daughter's teammates, she's on the women's lacrosse team, is from Australia, and she misplaced her passport. So I am one of, I don't know, their CPAs are one of a handful of professions who can vouch for her existence and who she is.
There you go.
We were able to successfully get her a passport via my signature.
So shout out to our Australian friends out there. CPAs can help you out. So what is the best comment that you've ever had on your Maryland CPA tattoo?
Oh, man. All right. So actually, it wasn't long after I got it. So I got the tattoo as a tribute to my year's chair of the Maryland Association of CPAs. So when you are incoming chair to the state society, you go to an early day of AICPA council for, I think they call it leadership something or other.
Okay.
And leadership day.
Okay.
And at the end of a session, basically, the current chair of the AICPA and Barry Melanson shake hands with each of the chairs. I shake his hand, and we're shaking, and he kind of grips it harder and turns it, and he looks at it, and he looks up at Barry, and he goes, "Barry, the profession is changing." And I said, "Yes, sir."
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you're right, it is. Nice.
Yep.
I like that. That's a good one. Need to know, though, bigger pet peeve. People who don't return their shopping carts to the bin, or people who walk in the street even though there's a sidewalk available.
So personal pet peeve, I think, is lawn in the street, because that affects 9 times out of 10, I've just washed and waxed my car when I drive by, and that grass is going in the street.
All right, Byron, this is it. Black hole of the day for Business Birdies, episode 1. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
The most important question, though, of all.
Oh, Lord.
What's your issue with top button dishwashers?
Oh, come on. It's the most ridiculous execution of what appeared to be a great idea.
What
Modern appliance.
Where did the dishwasher hurt you?
Every time it beeps at me when I walk away from it for absolutely no reason.
I could just see in the house. Are you kidding me with this?
Yes. It's right after I scream at Alexa, I kick the dishwasher.
Byron,
Jeffrey,
great playing with you. Thank you.
thank you.
We had some good putts, some bad putts, but why don't we go wrap it up at the clubhouse, have a drink, relax.
Can't wait.
The 19th question today is brought to you by Traveling Brothers Cigar Shop in Brunswick, Maryland. Help yourself sooner.
Here's to a great round, Byron. Trey, for coming out. Appreciate you being here.
Oh, it was my pleasure, man. It was awesome. So much fun. Such a great time.
One of the things I wanted to expand on, though, the 19th question, right? We're going to do one more here, maybe two. But so we talked about kind of fear, right, out there a little bit. And sure, like, whether it be in golf, like, oh, I don't want to miss this shot, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, you overthink it and you hit that shot, right? In life in general, a lot of people tend to be comfortable with certain things because they don't want to do something different or something new, etc. And that's a little bit of a fear factor. So what do you recommend for the people out there who are in a comfort zone, but they feel like there's something else they want to try, something else they want to do, and they just got to get over that hump of like, I'm just not sure, like, we're going to be okay if I do this, because you've done a lot of different things, right? And you had to overcome that. So what's your recommendation?
Few things. This is something I talk to my daughters about frequently. First is give advice to your friend who's in the same predicament. And so from yourself, how would you advise your friend who may be contemplating a similar type of challenge or situation? So it's a little bit of a way of kind of tricking yourself from a self-talk perspective of if you're contemplating it, don't give yourself advice, but give your friend advice of how to approach it or reflect on that. Take the first step in a safe position. 9 times out of 10, you can make first steps that are safe to help build some confidence. One of the things I don't recommend all the time, I think some people have a fear and they vocalize it a lot. And they go, Jeff, I really want to do this thing, but I'm scared about it. And, oftentimes our friends will say, they will play into our fears and maybe even reinforce our fears. I don't always recommend, reaching out to our friends and vocalizing it all the time because, oftentimes they don't want to hurt your feelings. They reassure you that the things you are feeling are okay, but it may also create doubt that that's the right path. So you have to trust yourself. Another thing to do is look back at your resume of all the things you've accomplished. I think many of us lose sight of those previous times we've been in difficult situations. And we've had to take some rest. So reflect on those moments and remind yourself of the many times you've been successful. And build, kind of build your own resume of confidence for more. I don't know.
What's one of your favorite spots in Frederick or Carroll County that you love?
Oh man, I mean, I love downtown Frederick to begin with. I mean, especially on days like today, to go down there and just go through the shops, hang out at some of the bars, and it's just such a cool town. When I have friends come visit, we take them to Frederick, downtown every time. So definitely one of my top favorites. Local to me, there's 2 breweries that I love, Sherman Farms and Fry's. Both just great spots to hang out with, and beautiful backdrops. So there's a limitless. I mean, I'm up here. I've been up here almost 10 years, and there isn't a month that goes by where I don't discover something where I'm like, how did I not know this out here? It's a great spot to be.
You're right. There's so much to do, and it's such a community feel too in Frederick, and that's one of the reasons I don't being here. So Byron, we had the cookout challenge, right?
It was tough.
It was a tough challenge, but you did well. You had some good points, some bad points. We both did, to be honest with you. But the great thing is, because this was the inaugural episode of Business Birdies, Frederick Holistic Health has given us both free massages. So we're going to both win the challenge. Yeah, we're both winning. Byron, I can't thank you enough for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. Hope to have you back again sometime. That would be awesome. But whatever, I will see you on the course. No doubt. So this is Jeff Cook saying thank you very much for watching Business Birdies. Please like, subscribe, and share, and hit them straight.